Good Monday morning, Vital Men. It's good to be with you on your Monday as you head out in the beginning of your work week. Today we're going to talk about really something that we've talked about before, but it's always good to remember, and it's talking about running the race. You know, one of the portions of scripture that really speak to me about running the race comes out of Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. And I'm going to read that to you this morning, and I want to give us a little bit of a nugget today as we go out in the midst of our work day to see what it actually means to run the race and to stay vigorous in the midst of the race itself. So let's look at what it has to say for us this morning. Starting with verse 1, it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily traps us up, and let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us." Now I want to stop there just a second. You know, I want you to think about this for a second, the great cloud of witnesses. What they're really referring to here is in Hebrews chapter 11, what I call the champions of faith. We talk about men like Abraham, Enoch, Moses, King David, all these men who were in the Bible and who did incredible things and had incredible faith. And also two women are also specified in this as well, is Sarah and also Rahab. But when we look at those stories in the midst of those great men and women in the Bible of Hebrews chapter 11, we also realize if we read further back in the Bible, we see the trials and tribulations and the struggles that they lived and they walked through in the midst of their life. Yet they stayed the course, they ran the race, they stayed the faith and pulled through. And I think that's the thing that we got to realize, but also too, there's a stripping away that it's important for us to do in our life. What it means is stripping away is to strip away all sin, which entangles us. I want you to think about that today. What sin entangles you? What is something that you need to strip away in your life in order to run the race and to run it to the finish line, keeping your focus on Jesus? Then it goes on verse 2, it says this: "We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God on the throne." You know, that's really the key in running the race. This race of Christian faith and the running the race of life itself is always keeping our eyes on Jesus. Man, without a doubt, each work week has its struggles, doesn't it? Each day has its struggles. But if we're going to run the race, man, we got to run it with full vigor, and we've got to run it with persistence and focus as we keep our eyes on Jesus himself. Today, I hope you run that race. You run the race with vigor. You are running it with excellence to the best of your capabilities and always keeping your eyes on Jesus. And remember, there will always be hardships and troubles along the way, and that is also part of the race. So don't get discouraged today. Trust Jesus. Focus on him and have a great day, Vital Men. We'll see you next week.